Good morning. Oh, I know that feeling. Well? What kind of game? It better been an appropriate game. Guess the word. How interesting. That's the exact same dream I had. Well, we gotta figure out what it meant.
Oh, you're back.
Do you eat stew?
How'd it go today?
Okay, so I don't have the ingredients yet. This frightens you?
Food for a home-cooked meal, hmm?
You got something to say?
Oh, no, nothing at all.
Look, I know Yona's not a 4-star chef or anything, but she puts her heart into it, and I love her for it. Only a real jerk wouldn't appreciate the effort. What kind of father do you think I am?
Did you hear me imply anything of the sort?
I guess not.
Just, well, good luck.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to give him credit. He is a very caring father, but sadly, I don't know, there's a lesson to be in Nier. But sadly, that involves a lot of spoilers. It's September 11th already? Ah, dang it. Why is it always September 11th? Time just goes by so fast around here. A strange letter. Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing in hopes in bringing to your attention that certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice dream on the matter. Recently there has been dream of a certain dream, evil dream, course, evil dream, words, dreams, and dream, someone dreams. Yes. That certainly is a problem. Yeah, we stopped in now. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We had dreams. We had dreams, and we gotta figure out what the hell's going on. Yes, I think there's a lot of business to be done. Yeah, it must be really annoying to light all your candles and then put them out and light them all up again. Of course, here they probably leave them on as long as possible, usually. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on whether people come here at night. I would stay... Let me. I would say it's probably quite annoying either way. They probably have kind of like a long stick thing they light. Probably just shove it up though. Probably what they do. Makes sense to me. So to the Forest of Myth. Now, I wouldn't worry about getting orbs or anything for this area. This is why when I talk about Nier, that's a really weird mix of things. And if you ever heard me talk about Nier, you probably heard me talk a little about this segment of the game. It's a really nice mash of ideas, but obviously if you're not kind of a mixed variety type of gamer, certain parts of the game would obviously not be your cup of tea. Now luckily this is pretty much the only segment that's like this, so you don't really have to freak out much about it. But, let's just say if you're not into visual novels, it's probably not going to be your cup of tea. Now let's see how many shades are out here today. Quite a few, it looks like. Don't want to kill a few, though. And magic costs 6% less. Nice. You might want to actually attach that one. What do my other ones do? Item weight, paralyze effect. We'll just do the less mana cost. I want to check the little valley area, see if there's a lot down there. It's always good for a lot of kills. And we get a few items from them too. But mainly I do want to check if the crapload of shadows are down here. Look at this lizard. Nope, don't look like they're down here. There is something to get. Oh, the dog. Closed book. A leaf.
Well, we found him. It looks like we're too late. This is gonna be hard for that old-timer to deal with.
Be they dog or man, no living thing can escape their ultimate fate.
That include you, Vice?
In truth, I have never considered the question. I suppose at some point in time I may simply wink out of existence.
I doubt I'll live long enough to see that happen.
Say there.
Yeah?
See here. If I ever find myself departing this world.
Oh, stop being morbid, Vice. Besides, you can't die. You're made of paper.
Indeed. I've never looked at it like that before.
You can't die. Sure, let's just put this match up to you. You won't die. What? I don't think it works quite like that, so. But yeah, we'll go ahead and let the old man know about his dog real quick. Since we're nearby. It's not hard to get to the forest. We'll just take the pig next. Then we'll do the Forest of Myth, and after that, I think that'll be good for the cool. Pigs, kill them! Oh. Why can't we hunt down the pigs? We can hunt down sheep and no pigs. How am I supposed to get my bacon? Oh, my good old bacon.
Black Scrawls here too?
I think after the Forest of Myth, I think I'm gonna be looking into trying to do a lot of side quests.
Yo.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. $1,000 gold. I would think. Sorry if I don't think you're being very heartbreaking. Well, if that's the case, I would assume he left. A very odd hat. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that required a lot of running around.
Hello.
Yeah, that's the same weapon, so they were selling the same thing.
It's not fair. She's so young. Her whole life is ahead of her.
The Black Scrawls here too?
It's everywhere, man. No one's safe. Not even your granddaddy. Alright, well, with that touching little tear out of our eye. Yeah, sorry, that's nuts. You know, considering I consider the game very emotional, I have to say some of the side quests don't really scream emotional when they're kind of trying to. You know, like, I think if they wanted to express it better, I think they could have thrown a little voice acting and did a little more animation for it. I'm just going to miss them. Oh well. Let's get on our giant pig thing here in a second. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice if you could actually flip through the diary while on the loading screen. Like have entries added, and while it's loading you can look through them. That could have been a slightly interesting idea. Here we go! Pardon me! It's a gang of shades! No! No back attack. Oh, no drops. What a shame. Okay, let's get on here quickly. There's Carter. We want to go this way. near where the pig was. Now you have to kind of wonder, whoa. Why me, pig? There was a shade though. Alright, you can just stay there. Whoa! Oh, coming to play you. Dropped some. Broken saw. The used culling book. Yoink. Silver, very nice. We're doing pretty good on the ore. Anyway, here's the town. Now, I believe we did stop by here before. I think we did, just briefly. It basically showed we couldn't really do anything here at all. Anyway, we can use the mailbox, which of course we will want to do. Go hit save. Now, this segment's gonna be so we're gonna find these people and they're just basically like, beware. Beware the wards. Wards? What do you mean? Contagious wards. Those who dream. Hold on a moment. There's a strange new sensation in my mind. What? What's going on here? Perhaps we should start by asking this man. Who are you? I am Nier, this is Wise. We heard something happened to the village, so we came to see if we could help. If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream. How's that again? What? The villager explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were caused to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined that the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly. Now see here, he said. Are you saying that we've been absorbed into your dream? Well, yes, said the mayor. I think you have. Oh crap. So that means we've caught the Death Dream? Before the mayor could confirm his suspicion, Wise exploded with rage. Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't recall falling asleep. The mayor attempted to take Wise's complaints in stride. That's just how the Death Dream works, he said, brushing aside the book's remarks. My remarks shall not be brushed aside, you fool! It would behoove you to remember that this world allows me to view all of its narration. The mayor twisted his mouth into an embracing glimpse, then quickly changed the subject to Neo, who had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village. Something, there must be something. Something have caused you to enter my dream, the mayor said. A certain conversation, a specific word, something. Neo and Wise whacked their brains, but could not find an easy solution. There were simply too many words to consider. Too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations. Does not engage in meaningless conversation. The mere suggestion that Wise chose his words carelessly seemed to string his pride. It does not see. You bloated gas bag of a narrator. It has diminished it utterly. Irritated, Wise looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the heavens. I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone. The anger created by his harsh words bled over the Neo like a... I can't. This is just too fucking funny. Wait, said Neo suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Contagious? What of it? Yeah, contagious words. Well, he must have said something right. Asked the mayor, some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or what the hell was it? A sheep, cried Wise, suddenly blowing out the first thing that popped in his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Neo's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said, those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick scarf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding to his approval at Neil. That sounds right, he said, at the stray sheet of paper fluttering to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. Mayo shook his head. His worn pencil scrubbed tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect my people from whatever comes along. But I've never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused and glimmers across his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Wise immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dream, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around the pencil, snapping it off at the tip. I tried to escape. But the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said, to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. The mayor's voice took on a note of steady determination, and I wrote, trying until it happens. Neo nodded in agreement. Wait a second, I didn't nod. Why are you... Look, if we can be of any help, said Neo, just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Vice. The grimoire looked at Neo, to the mayor, and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire's face is always confident. Thank you very much. I just love this argument with the narrator. It's hilarious. Now see here, Mayo. You told us that nothing can exist in this dream without you knowing it. But yet you seem surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The male slowly raised his head, realizing dawning on his face. Oh my God, he said. You're right, you're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice. And dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine the exit, then must be so. With your permission, we shall sort it out. Thank you, said the male. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The male suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He almost forgot what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms. We're all counting on you. As Nier slowly faded into the mist forest, the male was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Nier's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of this place was still a new thing, he'd been confident that he could be confident. He could be confident they could get in, find an exit, and be home in time for deal stew. Wheat stew. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around them. The mist made it difficult to see. More than a foot in their direction, the moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he's been forced to steady himself on the rough bark trees, and now his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time arguing Nier to pick up the pace and grumbling about the slow progress. Finally, after Vice muddled something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nier snapped. You know what, Vice? He cried. Go to hell. We're stopping. I need to rest for a few minutes before I throw up. Nier leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big? He muddled. The moment his words trembled from his mouth, a cousin of insects sprung to life, as if infuriated by his lack of respect. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out in the volume that rattled his teeth. Nier slipped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard, Vice, what the hell is going on? Nier could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled, and then, just as Nier's ears seemed ready to tear from his head, and to go running from cover, the sound diminished. Hesitant, Nier removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zew, 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 zew. Shack, 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 shack. Cha, 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 cha. Wah, 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 wah. As the insect sympathy dimmed, another damnable, Nier began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. One with it suffers, two with it is ideal, three with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. This kind of thing happens a lot in dreams, right? Maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. One with it suffers, two with it idle, three with it is dangerous. What is it? The answer is a secret. The answer is a woman. How the hell should I know? 1 with it suffers. 2 with it is ideal. 3 with it is dangerous. I would say a secret. Because usually a secret makes you suffer by yourself. But when you share the secret with someone, it usually feels better. But when it starts spreading to more, then it starts growing dangerous. The only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? A new path! It was correct! With glee. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind as long as they were on the path. Their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, said Neil, after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned the corner and sat and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Neil picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through a window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it! He's right. After all, this one is pretty easy. I enter through a window, but I break no glass. When the night falls, I vanish. Well, that should be sunlight. Praise the sun! Show us a new path. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spun an entire horizon. Praise the sun! In all my years, said Weiss softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried Neil, awakening Weiss from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glaring in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? In a dream of an old man in a forest cursed. Neil walked over, pounding on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Neil. But before he could go any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end at night with 3. What am I? Neil tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing here, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, it seems we must answer his riddle. I suppose. I have 4 legs in the morning. I have 2 at noon. But at the end of the night, I have 3. What am I? Well, if it's to be like life, morning being a baby, noon being an adult, and 3 being an old man with a cane, so I would say it's a man. The mist dissolved in the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flunged his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the male, cried out Neil. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the Mayo you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a vision of you. That was not yourself. You saw what? I'm sorry, I don't understand the thing you just said. It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the man at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him as Nier watched mist steeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. Then Nier and Weiss returned to the forest entrance. They found the male leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprung to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it! You actually made it back! His left hand grasped Nier's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge it from the socket, while his white seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah! By the heavens! Stop shaking me, you fool! We have not even told you if we're successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Nier withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Nier filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Wait a second. That's crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? This is one hell of a story. Cease your endless paddle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the wolves of this place is futile itself. Nier and the male recline on top of grassy earth. Have you forgotten, continued Weiss? It is words that control the Death Dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. They breathed slowly. This is the first time, began the male. The first time I have felt tired since I was a prison to you. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn. And he remembered nothing more. He might have slept for an hour or a year. When they woke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awoken from their dream. Nier shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. We made it. Wow, said the mayor in an awed voice. We did it. I'm back. He blinked once or twice as though not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream had started to spread through our village, and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and became trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand and collapsed back on the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glared at Nier and shrugged. Without a word, the fighter reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, a wary smile crossed the mayor's lips. You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure, Weiss said. But now you shall return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying in unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village and bowed his head and prayed silently. This is the holy tree, he explained. When the prayer was finished, it's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Only make our mission harder. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the wards. Legends say that our tree is home to powerful magic, known as the Sealed Force. It seemed the gold had been found in the most unexpected place. Is this only a stroke of luck? As the three of them said their goodbyes, Nier mentioned a strange man who had given them a third whittle and the mysterious words he left with them. I once saw a vision of you that was not yourself, muttered the male. What in the world? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound weird, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Nier tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the male didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figured it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Nier gave the male a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There was something wrong about the male in his words. I wish I understood what the hell was going on here. That whittle would prove to be the most difficult one of all. Oh, thank you so much. And now I can finally return to normal life in a normal game. This is one of the most bizarre diseases I must have ever heard of. And yes, sadly, the other villagers in this village have suffered the disease. We have attained the Sealed Force, Dark Execution. Summon magical spikes from the ground. Ah, remember that from the beginning? Then we want to talk to him again. Oh, a touchy too easy if you ask me. It's possible. Isn't there a way to talk to him again? Could've swore I got a weapon from him after the dream. Or maybe I have to leave and then come back. All the stuff around here. But yeah, we can check out the other villagers. Yeah, I think I might have to leave and come back. We can check out the other villagers and they'll be trapped in the dream. Oh shit, we gotta... Oh yeah, we gotta save all the other people from the death dream. Crap, I forgot about that. Well then, we saved the male, but can we save the rest of the village from the death dream? Can we solve the riddles at west in the village? I'm not quite sure yet. But we'll be back to try and save them all from a visual novel from hell. Our own dreams. Next time on Nier, it's bedtime story. And if you don't like that, then well, I guess you're just gonna be skipping a few parts. I know, it's probably not the most exhilarating thing, right?